Police departments all across the state are stepping up their seatbelt enforcement as part of their Click It or Ticket campaign. Lauren Zenzi is in Studio 61 right now with two officers to explain why this is so important. Lauren, good morning.
Good morning to you, Tim. Good morning, everyone. I'm here with State Trooper Pedro Muñiz and also Sergeant Mark Cleverdon from the South Windsor Police Department. We're talking really important stuff here. Click It or Ticket is a national campaign that local and state law enforcement are teaming up to really crack down on the roads, but it's not just to get people in trouble, it's really to make everyone safe.
It is. It's to make everyone safe. 2021, there was 75 people that were reported to have lost their life because of their lack of seatbelt use.
And this is a staggering statistic, and we were actually just talking on the couch with both of these gentlemen that this is a problem that we are seeing just grow over, especially now that it is going into the summer months. Sergeant Cleverdon, talk a little bit about, on a local level, how important it is to really get out on the streets, especially in all of these local areas, neighborhoods, making sure that people are driving safely.
Yeah, we have a pretty good compliance rate with seatbelts. It's usually 90 to 95%, which is great. So we're looking for that other 10 to 5% of people who are not wearing their seatbelts to help enforce that. The big thing for people to remember is that putting that seatbelt on will save your life if you were to be involved in a crash.
And I think a lot of people don't realize, maybe you are an adult, you're sitting in the back seat. A lot of adults just don't wear their seatbelt in the back seat, but you really do need to talk about the safety and why it is so important to wear it.
It's very important. The law now states that everybody in the vehicle, front seat, back seat, doesn't matter where you're sitting in the vehicle, must be wearing their seatbelt. So including the back seat, it's just as important to wear it. The sergeant can definitely agree with me on this one. We've been to plenty of accidents where backseat passengers have lost their life because of their lack of seatbelt use.
And I think it's critical that we remind people of this, especially going into the summer months. A lot of kids are out of school. A lot of younger kids are going to be getting in cars together. Now, let's talk about some of the safety features that cars have, because I know my car personally, I have a Subaru, it dings so loud. All these car manufacturers are trying to make it nearly impossible to drive without your seatbelt. It just goes ding, ding, and it gets progressively louder. Mm-hmm. Does everyone know what I'm talking about at home, or a little triggered by that?
Yeah, I think the important thing for people to remember is that when you get in the car, before that car goes into drive, make sure everyone else is seatbelted. It should be the driver's responsibility to make sure before they move that everyone in the back and the front is safely seatbelted in.
Now, Trooper Muñiz, what kind of penalties come along with if you are to get pulled over and you don't have a seatbelt on, or someone in the back seat does not have a seatbelt on?
So first offense is a $92 ticket, a $92 fine that you can receive for anyone, any of the passengers or the driver could receive that ticket. And that, that's best case scenario, right? Mm-hmm. You can get into an accident and get injured, and that's what we're trying to avoid.
Absolutely. Very important information. This is just a campaign that is running for this month, but it is so important as we go into the summer months that we really do discuss these scenarios, because unfortunately this is not going to be the first crash that we see all summer long that involves someone not wearing their seatbelt, and unfortunately it's not going to be the last. But I really appreciate both of you taking the time. Very important information. Yes. Click it or ticket, because you will get pulled over and you will get a ticket starting at $92. It takes about 9.2 seconds to click everybody in, so we don't need to be spending all that kind of money. For now, I'm going to send things back over to Tim, and we'll check in on the roads coming up in about 10 minutes.